G'day guys, I came out here last night to remove the front panel from the clamps and start gluing up this back panel, and it was getting pretty late at night and I decided to call it quits at this moment here. As you can see, crash bash, it's gone all over the place, probably woke up all the neighbours, so I called it time to call it quits before I get in trouble. Anyways, there's the front panel there. Look, looks like a baby jail, doesn't it? Help, help, let me out. Alright, let's get this thing smoothed out, eh? If I could get shavings like this off a scraper every single time, I'd be a very happy man. So after scraping, it's a pretty rough surface. It's not rough, but it's not smooth. If you hear that, then I'll give it a sand, a bit of 240 grit on a block of timber. The fact that this cloth doesn't catch either way is a good sign. Now it's a lot smoother. Alright, so I'm all set up to get this glue lamination or bent lamination done. Now I've got the grey gum with a couple of packers underneath that's double-sided sticky tape to the bottom, just to raise that up off the clamps so that when these wider pieces of Tassie oak sit on top, they actually sit in the middle of the thinner grey gum. I'll be gluing it up with Type Bond Original. I don't have to worry about glue creep in this instance. All I need to do is get a really strong joint. The best way to do that is to use actual wood glue. Polyurethane, urea formaldehyde, epoxy. They're just not as good as this stuff, so that's the way I'm going to do it. That's the way it's going to stay, and I reckon it's going to be pretty good. So that's 7 layers plus these 2 on the top. Starting in the centre. I need more bigger clamps. So that'll be pretty good as is. So I'm going to leave that there for, well, I think it's 2 o'clock now. It'll be there until 2 o'clock tomorrow at least, probably 2 o'clock the next day. So you want to leave it in there as long as you possibly can under the pressure of the clamps. So I was just getting ready to glue this back panel up and I found myself a little problem. There's my top rail, it's got the dowels in there already. They line up with those holes there, right? But if you look there, it's not the best angle, but they don't go in, right? I got the holes in the wrong spot. No, sorry, not me. Somebody's got the holes in the wrong spot. And now I can put a little bit of glue in there and pretend nothing happened. Now I certainly hope that doesn't look like I've done that before and I knew exactly how to fix it, because that's the first time that's ever happened. So now I'm ready to glue up this back panel. I'll assemble it down here on the floor, and then moving over to here I'll bring it up onto the bench there and put it straight into the clamps. Up we go. Man, oh man, is there a lot of hydraulic pressure there. Alright, so that got it. There was a lot of hydraulic pressure there. There's all sorts of squeeze out there, squeeze out there, squeeze out there, there. So all of that glue is resisting it from coming together. But now that I've got it together, that glue will now shrink as it dries and it'll make a very tight bond now. It's just very hard to make the connection to begin with. But we're there now. And I'm going to assume that that's square because I'm not going to measure it. I can measure it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We've got 1480. Ah, good, it's 1480, I don't have to do anything. Ouch. Ugh. So it's now time to fit the legs to the side panels here. But before I do that, I've got a few marks on this face here where I put the clamps over there, and it's put a little ding mark through there. So I want to clean that up first before I block off access through here with a hand clamp, so that way I can just smooth it off and it'll be done. I also want to get rid of these glue blocks because they're currently higher than that surface there, so I just want to knock them off. Luckily it's pine. So using these little dowel center points, I can put them in the holes here. I only have 4 of them, so I'll have to do it several times. So they have a little point on the end of them. So I line that edge up with this line here and then press it in, and that'll give me 4 points that I can get half of the dowels connected with. And there I have 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, and 4 point. So now, using 2 dowels that I've sanded back just a little bit so they go in and out of the holes a lot easier, I'll put 2 of them in the 2 master holes. They're the ones that are going to locate everything, so I'll circle those. Now if I get the dowel pins and put them into different holes than what I had the first time. So now I put these 2 dowels into those holes, which will position this to get the other 3 locations. Give it a gentle tap. And then I've got a location here, here, and here. So I can go and drill those ones out. And that'll be that lower section done. Then I can do the top section the same way. So with those 7 holes done, I can put those dowels back into the same holes that I used the second time there, so that one and that one. That's correct. I was a bit worried there. Then I can get my dowel center pins again and move them to the top. So I can pick any now, just that one, that one, that one, and that one. This goes into the bottom, hooks in there. Making sure that this is hard down and that's hard down. I want to give it a good bit of motivation to put a few pin marks in there. And once again, I've got 4 pin marks, one there, 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 and there. So I can go drill them out, do it again, rinse and repeat until I'm finished. So that's it there. It's nice and flush at the bottom there, and that's what it was supposed to be. Here it's probably, the leg is about 0.3 proud of that surface there. That's exactly what I didn't want, but I can deal with that. So now I'll go and do the same thing to the other 3 legs, get them fitted up to the appropriate joint, and then I'll call it a day at that, because all my clamps are in use, and so I can't clamp these on, but I still have to smooth out these surfaces, make it good. So I'll leave you with a time lapse and see you tomorrow.